Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Triple H was roasted by an ex-WWE figure for a major that he made, particularly in how things work in the entire creative department of the company. It was one change in particular that was pinpointed. On the latest episode of the Wrestling Outlaws, host Dr. Chris Featherstone spoke a bit about the women's division in WWE with ex-backstage figure Vince Russo and former three-time world champion EC3. They both advocated for Scarlett, Karrion Kross partner, and they also agreed that she needed to be pushed more. Vince Russo was quite critical about the creative process in WWE under Triple H and referenced to the WWE Unreal trailer, where the writer's room was featured. Russo said that the big change, i.e. writers being in suits and ties, is a bad one to make, especially considering that it's supposed to be a room filled with creativity. Russo implied that the writers in the room were walking around eggshells because Triple H was there, and he said that this wasn't conducive to creativity. You can watch the full video below. What Vince Russo expressed on the surface was a frustration and disbelief about the fact that the creative writers' room, led by Triple H, is filled with people in suits. To Russo, it was the antithesis of not being creative, but it goes much further than that. Host Dr. Chris Featherstone added that it's representative of what's wrong with the creative process to begin with. The formality of it, the need to dress impeccably, is a microcosm of a bigger issue. That issue is that the writers aren't fully aware of why they are there in the first place. Featherstone added that this creates an environment where it's all about pitching ideas and seeing what sticks, rather than having a loose, informal setting where people can be their unrestricted selves, thus giving rise to an ease that creates the necessary conditions for creativity to shine. It's going to be interesting to see how this process evolves over time, and if WWE learns from its mistakes. In what is turning out to be one of the most unexpected verbal lashings in recent WWE memory, an ex-WWE figure has unleashed a storm of criticism toward Paul Triple H Levesque for a change that, according to them, gutted the soul of WWE's identity. In an exclusive and scathing interview that has since sent shockwaves throughout the wrestling world, the former WWE talent, whose name remains one of the more controversial in company history, took aim directly at the game's decision-making, his perceived favoritism, and a shift in creative philosophy that may now be polarizing the locker room. Speaking candidly with a top wrestling outlet during a closed-door sit-down held just days after the backlash to recent programming changes, the former WWE personality, who we will refer to as X until full quotes are published, declared that the change implemented by Triple H was not only unnecessary but destructive to the company's long-standing legacy. The change in question. According to X, the issue revolves around what has come to be known backstage as the Reality Era 2.0, a new vision for WWE content spearheaded by Triple H that prioritizes real-life storylines, long-term booking arcs with gritty realism, and an increased integration of social media narratives. What Paul is doing, X began, is turning this into an HBO drama with muscle. He's forgotten what wrestling is at its core: suspension of disbelief, larger-than-life personas, and action that doesn't need 6 weeks of moral context. Fans are watching wrestling, not Succession. Triple H's recent moves, ranging from booking unpredictable finishes and ambiguous character motivations, to quietly phasing out certain production tropes introduced by Vince McMahon, have received critical praise from many outlets, but internally, the picture seems more divided. I'm not saying there's no place for nuance in wrestling, X continued, but what I'm seeing now are stories that never peak, rivalries with no emotional payoff, and characters that feel like they were designed by AI rather than by passion. Triple H has forgotten the power of a clean story. Now it's all shades of gray and overly cinematic monologues. Fallout in the locker room? Though Triple H remains widely respected among the current roster, X claims there is discontent brewing. Don't be fooled by the smiling faces on TV or in the locker room interviews. A lot of those guys are frustrated. Triple H might be approachable, But that doesn't mean he's not being stubborn. He's overcorrecting for Vince's era. He's trading one extreme for another. Sources close to WWE Creative have hinted that certain veteran talents have been lobbying for more clarity in their roles, with one unnamed Raw star stating, "I don't even know if I'm a heel or a face anymore. It changes depending on who tweets about me that week." X went further. "This isn't about young talent or NXT favorites. This is about his ego. Triple H wants to leave a legacy that isn't Vince's, and to do that, he's uprooting everything Vince built. But there's a fine line between evolution and erasure." The title design controversy. Among the most tangible changes Triple H made was redesigning the WWE Championship and women's titles, which X also blasted. Those new belts, sterile, corporate, soulless, they look like they were made for a UFC crossover, not for WrestleMania. The Intercontinental Championship used to be a workhorse belt. Now it looks like a futuristic toy. Critics and fans online have been divided on the belt designs, but X's view is far from subtle. The moment you redesign the symbol of your company, you're making a statement. And Paul's statement was, "Out with the old, in with my vision." That's not evolution. That's a coup. Backlash from the fans. Fan reactions have ranged from supportive to vitriolic. While younger fans and hardcore wrestling enthusiasts have generally embraced the layered storytelling and longer-term builds, many traditional WWE viewers have begun to echo X's sentiments on social media. One viral post read, "Triple H has made WWE more respectable, but less fun. Where's the chaos? Where's the electricity? Everything feels sanitized." Another fan added, "He's booking for critics and Reddit threads, not for the millions of us who just want to be entertained." Triple H responds. When asked for comment during a press appearance following backlash, Leon Triple H gave a composed but telling response. "I appreciate all feedback," he said. "At the end of the day, I'm trying to build a product that will stand the test of time. Not just for one season, but for generations. Change is hard. I understand that. But this company is evolving, and that's not a bad thing." While not directly addressing X, many took his words as a subtle rebuttal. Industry reactions, divided voices. Fellow former WWE star and current wrestling podcaster Matt Cardona weighed in via X, formerly Twitter, writing, "I don't always agree with Triple H's booking. But you can't deny the effort to tell real stories. If you want mindless action, there are other promotions." On the opposite side, a former WWE producer who worked under both Vince McMahon and Triple H offered this blunt assessment. Under Vince, the show was chaotic but focused. Under Hunter, it's calculated but sometimes forgettable. Neither is perfect, but Vince never let the crowd forget who the heroes were. Meanwhile, rising star Braun Breaker reportedly supported Triple H's vision, saying backstage, "This era is about truth. What Triple H is doing isn't wrong, it's just different. He's giving guys like me a platform to be ourselves, not just another caricature." A deeper agenda. There are murmurs that X's attack on Triple H may also be rooted in a personal grudge. X was once considered a top talent in WWE, but left on contentious terms after repeated disagreements with management over character direction. Since then, their public statements have often criticized WWE's leadership, including both McMahon and Levesque. Some insiders believe this latest interview is less about creative concerns and more about revenge. Still, the fact remains, Triple H is now under fire from someone who once lived and breathed the WWE machine. And in an industry built on drama, even real-life critiques become part of the show. What's next for WWE? As WWE continues its post-WrestleMania calendar with renewed emphasis on international shows, complex story arcs, and hybrid talent from other promotions, the tension between tradition and innovation has never been more apparent. With the looming return of several legacy stars and rumors that SummerSlam 2025 may feature a massive old guard's new blood storyline, WWE may be forced to confront the divide it has created, intentionally or not. And at the heart of it all stands Triple H, a man who has been praised as both the savior of modern wrestling and its latest tyrant. Whether the change he has enacted will ultimately elevate WWE or alienate its loyal base remains to be seen. But as one fan bluntly tweeted, Triple H isn't being booed because he's bad. He's being booed because he made WWE his again. This exclusive story is ongoing, and the wrestling world will be watching closely as Triple H navigates the fallout, not just from his critics, but from the fans who now hold him to a new standard, one that is no longer defined by Vince McMahon's shadow. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.